All right, there we go. That was Colleen Augustine as well as Peter Davis on our Berani Bersama page. Now, I'd like to welcome onto Berani Bersama Conversations by Colleen. Okay, is the whole reason why we're actually doing this show. I'd like to welcome the Executive Director of MERCY Malaysia, Encik Amran Mahzan. Hi, how are you, sir?
Hi, Rashid. How are you?
Fine,
Sorry,
thank
I'm
you.
in my car.
Yeah, no, I was about to ask you. The signal must be really good in the car.
No, actually, we had plans. We had plans to break fast at my mother-in-law's place, and the signal is very bad there. So I decided to just drive somewhere and have it here.
Well, we still got an hour plus, so I'm not going to keep you that long, though. But yes, thank you very much for joining us. Of course, you guys all know about this Berani Bersama campaign, which we're doing, and of course to help raise funds for the MERCY Malaysia's COVID-19 pandemic fund. For those of you for those of the audience who are not in the know, can you just explain to them what's the role of MERCY Malaysia?
Thanks, Rashid. First, I would like to thank you, Shang Parlour, for running this campaign. They contacted us and they wanted to raise some fund for the COVID-19. So we agreed to proceed with them. We have been getting a lot of help from everyone. Alhamdulillah. And the funding and the donation and the volunteers, they are doing great. We at MERCY Malaysia, maybe I just start with a short brief description of MERCY Malaysia. We were founded in 1999 by our founder, Tan Sri Dr. Jamila Mahmud. She's back in the country now. She's the private advisor in health for the Prime Minister. She left us in something about 2008 when she founded us in 1999. What happened was she was called by her son, actually looking at the news about the war in the Balkans. So the son challenged her, "Hey, you are a doctor, why don't you help?" So she and a few like-minded friends, mostly medical, went to Kosovo, and that's how we started. Yeah. So COVID-19 is something very new for us, it's I can say that it's the first disaster that even MERCY Malaysia is also a victim. We been working from at a very limited capacity because we were trying to control how many people actually go out and do our work. So what we have now is we have set up what we call a new hub, an operation hub where where our work focus from. So far, we have developed quite a comprehensive response plan that consists of about 6 components. Mainly when there's a disaster, the focus will be for the most affected community. And for this disaster in Malaysia, the most affected community is one is the Kementerian Kesihatan, our frontliners, and second are those people who are affected by the MCO. So most of our work are focused to assisting these two victims. I call it victims. The frontliners are not victims, but most affected by the disaster.
I mean, in comparison to past response, or rather past disasters that we've had with MERCY Malaysia that has been involved in, how different and how, I mean, you explained just now how it was different, but because when the MCO started, everyone was at home, and there was no strategy at the time. What was MERCY Malaysia's plan? I mean, apart from doing this campaign, in terms of because logistics would have been a nightmare. So in terms of logistics and all that, how did you strategize all that?
Well, when the virus started, we were quite how do I say it? It's very new actually. As MERCY Malaysia, we have worked 10 years ago how to respond to pandemic and all, and we also work with. We have a program with
Hmm?
the CDC. I know I think you heard of CDC is from the US,
Yes.
the Center of Disease Control. They
Yes.
also trying to develop capacity around the globe actually to respond to pandemic like this.
Mm.
It was like started a year ago, but we were still in the process of like coming up with SOP strategies and all. But the crisis started. So for us, at first before the MCO start, our program was just do awareness, reminding people how to take care of their health and their hygiene. But now, like I said, the eight component, a lot of work is logistic, like you said, but we also are sending some of our volunteers, some retired doctors, private doctors, who to work with KKM. KKM has a centralized response team that goes
Mhm.
on to do this screening for COVID-19. So we send some volunteer there. Those are the real frontliners in our team now. Other than that, we supply PPEs to hospital, clinics, and also medical equipment. And the PPEs we don't only supply to the medical frontliners, we also supply to the other frontliners, the police, the APM, Angkatan Pertahanan Awam, civil defense, and even our friend at AEDK and others. And for the people affected by the MCO, most of our work are to provide at least some ration of food for them to at least, because they lost their income,
During
they
this,
lost their source of income. So we
yes,
provide
especially
food
during
that,
this Ramadan.
yeah, especially
Sorry.
Ramadan. So we supplied food for at least a month. And also another
Mm.
program that's I think is interesting is our psychosocial hotline program,
Yeah.
where people can just call in. People who stress, who have some psychosocial pressure, they can call in and get advice from our expert in psychosocial. We had like almost 11 or 12 psychologists standing at the other end to answer the call. And these are in coordination partnership with KKM itself.
Okay. In terms of the allocation of the funds, I mean, obviously, Berani Bersama is helping raise awareness and also funding for this. But how is the funding allocated once you receive the funds from everywhere else?
I have to say that most of our fund come corporate donors now.
Mhm.
A majority of the fund come for corporate donors. So what we do is we submit. We tell them what we want to do. This is our whole plan. This is what we
Mhm.
want to do. And usually donor, they have their own what they want to support in terms of that whole program. So there are some of those who wanted to support our psychosocial program. Some wanted to support our food, where they are more closer to the community, so they want to support our food program, and others would like to support our frontliners. So our
Right.
budget, our expenditure is based on what the donor donating to. But
Right.
for the general public, so you don't get to choose. So we get to decide where the fund should go to, where is most needed. So like for Berani Bersama, so we will decide where the fund will go to. Currently, I think one of the critical funding that we are lacking is for food. Actually, we actually from the start of the MCO we get a lot of requests from people all over the country for food, for health assistance, for food, because we don't do cash assistance. So we provide them food, at least they can survive until they can start back on their feet.
What do you think that is? I mean, obviously, there's plenty of food in the country, but is it because people have, are we saying now the economy that we're in at the moment, a lot of them are basically daily workers, so they usually get daily wages? So is it something that you face?
I think from the request, some of the stories that we hear that's coming from the ground is that they lost their income. There's
Yeah.
one guy who emailed us, said he just like came from the kampong to start work like one or 2 months ago, and suddenly the MCO started. So then he lost his job. He just came from the kampong. I guess he is stuck there in KL, so he cannot go back to his family. So that's some of the problem that we heard. But you can see it that people, if you go around nowadays, you cannot find goreng pisang. So goreng pisang seller cannot sell their product. They lost their income and they can survive for a while, but then how much saving do they have? So that's why a lot of the assistance that we are the requests that we're getting are for assistance in terms of food pack. But we do have a cash assistance program that we are starting for the first time. It's not our focus. It's something that a donor approached us to do, and inshallah, it's a cash assistance program. Because apart from food, when you lost your job, you lost your income, you also cannot pay for the rent. The rent, if you are under the government housing, of course you get the leeway. But if you are renting to an owner, of course the owner still want their rent. So we are doing a small cash assistance program. Inshallah, we'll complete it by this Monday, inshallah.
Okay, that's good. That's very good to hear, because I think a lot of people are in need of, as much as we say we don't want people to be homeless, but there a lot of people now are becoming homeless because of this pandemic. Okay, in terms of tell us a bit about your role as an executive director within MERCY Malaysia. What specific role are you tasked with?
Well, I'm the executive director, so overall I manage the whole organization. I didn't tell you in the first, MERCY Malaysia is a society. So we are registered with the Register of Society Malaysia. So members, we have about 500 members that voted for a board of executive council. We have about 11 of them, and they hired me as the executive director. And I in turn hire the team for the secretary to run our program. So I oversee the overall the operation of MERCY Malaysia, including not only the operation, but fundraising, our communication department, also the support department, our human resource and finances. So we have a strong team of what we call them program and development department. These are the people that actually run the actual program on the site. So like I told you that we for this COVID-19 response, we actually opened a hub in which was sponsored by Tenaga Nasional, a new hub. Because we expect a lot of logistic, a lot of material coming, a lot of food pack coming, a lot of equipment coming in. So from there, actually, I'm actually not allowed to go to the. I'm the second team. I'm not allowed to go to the hub now because our people are going out, so they're meeting people, so they could be getting this virus. So there's another team too that's standing by just in case. If one guy get it, the whole operation will stop. So we have another team that's on standby. So that's how we're working now. So it's quite difficult. You have limited resources. You cannot just send 500 people or 500 people to do all this distribution. So these guys, I really like to thank them. They're really working hard. Even this Raya, I think they said they're just going to take 2 days off for the Raya, and then they're going to start on the 3rd day of Raya.
I mean, that's it's a blessing. You know what? I was leading up to the other question where people do donate the fundraisers like this. But in terms of how becoming a member of volunteering, how does one? Because I know there's a lot of people there who want to volunteer their time, who want to give back to society through MERCY Malaysia. How does one do that?
Well, you can just go to our website www.mercy.org.com. Sorry, I forgot my own website. Anyway, you can go to our website and you can click to volunteer or to donate. It's quite clear there, I think. But to be a volunteer for MERCY Malaysia, you have to go through actually a couple of trainings. It's not that we are open to our volunteer, but we want our volunteer to understand what is what is humanitarian work is all about. What are the code of conduct when you do humanitarian work, what are the challenges that you're gonna face. So we have like a volunteer induction program. Once you go through that, you go to a basic mission training program, and then there's the specific program like, example, if you're a medical doctor, maybe you can join our emergency response unit, our
Yes.
hospital, our field hospital. So so you, for new volunteer that's coming in that want to volunteer now, it's a bit difficult for us to take them. One thing is like we are operating at a very limited numbers of people, and then you are not trained yet. So you are not trained, and it's not easy. I mean, coming for 20 years experience, we had a breakdown of volunteers before. It actually
Yeah.
happened when you see how bad things are at a certain disaster place.
I know that.
So
Do Karen. Sorry.
yeah, so that's how you can become a volunteer. A member is a different thing. A member, when you're a member of a society, then you get to vote for the executive council. You get to decide at the annual general meeting and how the way forward of the society. But what we want to do is actually we want people to first volunteer with us, understand, get to know us, and understand what we do. And when if you are really interested, then you can apply to be a member.
All right, thank you. I mean, that's quite comprehensive in terms of where or how one becomes involved with Mercy Malaysia. Now, obviously, this pandemic is ongoing. Mercy Malaysia has what they call the Total Disaster Risk Management, TDRM. What's the plan for beyond the MCO? Because obviously, Mercy Malaysia just doesn't stop at just getting things done, but post, like your psychosocial helpline is there, but post the pandemic, where how prepared is Mercy Malaysia to face what's going to be another onslaught, not just the pandemic, but the after effects of this.
Okay, the TD and the Total Disaster Risk Management Program, right? So we have started discussion in the office. We should be moving from the emergency response, this phase of emergency response, to the recovery phase. Recovery phase is when you return life to the normal situation.
Yes.
But I think the normal situation, there's a new norm, as I said. But some of the plan that we have is a livelihood program actually, because we know that a lot of people's life have been affected, their work, their income and all that. So we have a livelihood program that we are planning, we have designed and we are planning to have it. It includes a cycle of some people we are going to give them a food pack, but instead of just buying this food pack from the manufacturer, we're gonna get it from directly from the farmers. You also heard a story about farmers losing the way they cannot sell their product, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna connect that two programs together. And for our psychosocial program, it's no longer a hotline. We're gonna convert it into a what you call it, a care line or a helpline, because the stress or the psychosocial problem is differ from a hotline. The way you handle your case, and also we most probably going to do more follow up to the people that would need follow ups.
So yeah, this is a big task. So this is why everything was connected. You probably would need more volunteers to train after this. You guys said it was limited, so you guys are Mercy Malaysia is stretched at the moment.
Yes. We are not limited by the number. We have the volunteers. It says we are limiting the people that go out and do distribution because of the risk of getting infected. We do have a couple, a few volunteers. I think about 30 over, running our PPE swing program. We work with Kemas. I think they're closed now, so we stand our volunteer there. We are swing PPEs because the supply is very difficult now. We are trying. So we are trying to produce their own PPE. I think so far they have quite a number that they have produced, almost 1,000 over PPEs. They produce about 100 PPEs per day there.
All right. Okay. You know what? Thank you very much for joining us. I know. I hope you've got the car aircon on because it looks like it's quite warm in there.
Yeah, it's
you know,
okay.
but the internet was very very good. Oh, it's like sounds like there's someone
I think they're
shooting or
celebrating
something.
Raya earlier.
We're still a weekend. Oh, okay. Getting rid of all the machuns now. But
Right.
but
So
on
I
behalf
would
of
also like to thank you, Rashid. I
yes,
think you've done a wonderful job in hosting the whole Berani Bersama program.
thank you,
Again, thank you to the Shang Parlour. I do.
Shang Parlour.
I
All the behind the scenes people.
yeah, all
There's
the
very few
people
of us,
behind
but
the scenes.
we're running it slowly and
Yeah,
steadily.
thank you. Thank you
But
so
thank
much.
you
Because
for
because
yes, go on.
we couldn't do what we do without the support of our donors, of our volunteers, and people like you guys who support us in the work we do.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to put our names to MERCY Malaysia, and you are doing a very good job, especially to our frontliners and everyone else as well in our society in general. But thank you, Encik Amran, for joining us.
Thank you so
We hope
much.
you guys continue the good work that you guys do and make us look good as well.
Alright, thank you. Selamat berbuka and selamat
Selamat
Hari Raya.
berbuka. And Selamat Hari Raya to you too.
Yeah.
Thank you and
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Salam. I'm very curious to ask you. Thank you. Now I'm online.
Bye, guys.